Okay, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my miscarriage with all the information I've seen circulating about Kylie Kelsey's miscarriage. I was like, oh, maybe this is a good time to talk about my story. So we've been trying to get pregnant for the last year now. Like we started in October and we're in October again. So it's been 12 months and they say like obviously it usually takes about 12 months to get pregnant, and if it takes longer than that, then maybe you should seek a fertility specialist. But honestly, I don't know. With Lucy, our first, like we got pregnant the very first time around, and so I was like, I think things are working just fine. I just know a lot of it has been stressed and timing related. Like we haven't been like very good about timing it perfectly, if you know what I mean. So I feel like once we really buckle down and like try to track my like fertile window and everything, then I think we'll be able to get pregnant pretty quickly. But over the course of the year, there was one miscarriage, and so I just wanted to talk about it. I got pregnant, I think in February, and then I had my miscarriage in May. So I was just a few months pregnant, maybe not even that long. I don't know, to be honest. I kind of tried to erase it from my mind. I laugh, but it really isn't funny. Like I think that's just kind of how I cope with it. But because we really do want to add more kids to our family, and it's kind of sad sometimes when I do see other people having 3 or 4 kids and I'm like, oh my gosh, are we gonna get there? You know? Like we originally planned to have an age gap of 2 years, but now the age gap will be at least 3 years just because we haven't been able to have our next baby. But anyways, so I was pregnant in February, and then I only told my family, really, like my immediate family. And then we went on a family trip. So my younger sister graduated from college, so we all went to Logan to go visit her. And we all went to her graduation ceremony. We saw her walk, and we like went to dinner, and we all stayed in a hotel and stuff, and it was like a fun trip. But I noticed I'm starting like a little bit of bleeding. I'm noticing a little bit of bleeding. And so everyone was like coming up to talk to me. Not everyone, I mean, it's just small gathering. It's just my immediate family. But like my dad came up and my sister came up, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, congratulations, you're pregnant and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm really excited, but I've also like started bleeding like today, and I don't really know what it is. And so they're like, oh, like they didn't know how to respond. Like I wouldn't know how to respond either, you know? They're like, oh, I'm sorry, but like, oh, but you really don't know what's causing the bleeding, right? You know? And so at that point, it was just light bleeding. It wasn't like, oh, for sure I'm having a miscarriage. I didn't know for sure. I was like, I know there's some spotting that happens in pregnancy, and it was like kind of consistent with that amount. Like it wasn't a ton. Like I didn't even need to put a tampon in, TMI, but but I was just like, oh, that's weird. And then so we were staying in a hotel, and that night, I shared a room with my mom. It was just me, Lucy, and my mom in a hotel room. And bear in mind, this is like an old, nasty hotel. My mom said it's the same hotel that she and my dad stayed in for their honeymoon night. Like, I don't know how many years ago, 30 plus years ago, probably 40 years ago now. Yeah. Anyways, it's an old hotel, and it's a motel. Let's not say hotel, it's a motel. And it's like nasty, like royal red carpet. And like, I don't know, there was like hair on the headboard, and I was just like, this is disgusting. Like, I just didn't realize that was where we're gonna be staying. If I had known, I wouldn't have stayed the night. But I was like, you know what, I don't want to do the drive all the way to Logan and back with Lucy in the car because she doesn't do well on long car rides. So I was like, I'll just break it up over the course of 2 days. So we stayed in the motel, and it was nasty. I don't think I would have been able to sleep anyways, but of course I had the miscarriages, so I didn't sleep regardless. So we went to bed, and Lucy's sleeping in my bed. My mom is sleeping in the bed next to us. She was awake the whole time. I had no idea, and I was awake the whole time because we just never fell asleep. But I started feeling like contractions. Like, I'm talking about like birthing contractions, like labor contractions. Like, that's what I felt when I first started having contractions before I went into labor with Lucy. Like, it was like a tightening and like a really strong cramping feeling like in my lower belly, and I was like, this is so weird. And then I could feel myself starting to bleed out. But Lucy was like sleeping in my bed, and I didn't want to wake her up, so I felt trapped. So I literally just stayed in the bed and just like bled right there. And eventually I snuck away, and I could go to the bathroom and to the shower, and I will spare you all the details, but I lost a lot of blood, okay? Like, a lot of blood. So much so that my mom called 911. Yeah, because I had lost so much blood in such a short amount of time that by the time the ambulance came, they were like, your red blood cell count is like so low, it's in the 5s, and like your blood pressure is so low. And I was about to pass out. Like, I would have passed out if I stood up, but I tried to stand up, but I couldn't. I was just so weak, and my heart rate was so low. Like, I just lost all of my blood in like a really short amount of time. And so, yeah, this is the first time I've ever been on an ambulance. And let me tell you, it is a humbling experience. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but literally I had blood through my pants, blood through my second pair of pants, and I only packed 2 clothes because it's like an overnight trip, right? And so I have nothing to wear. Luckily, my mom had like, she went to the hospital and got like a brief, essentially, like a diaper for me to wear because I had no pants. So before she called 911, she was like, oh, let me just go to the store, grab you some pads or grab you something. And so the only thing that was open was the hospital, and she got like a pair of briefs for me. And so I had to wear those instead of my pants, and that's all I was wearing on the bottom. And the EMTs arrive, and like, they're like my age, you know, they're not like old guys, you know, they're like in their 30s, you know, and I'm just like in a see-through brief that's like blood everywhere, and they have to like pick me up and put me on the stretcher. So that was just a little humbling. But honestly, I was at the point where I was like, I honestly don't care. Like, I just need medical attention. Like, just get me there. I don't care how it happens. Like, I can't even, at the time, I didn't even have time to think about it. I was just like, just get me help. And so I was in the hospital, and they drove me to the ER, and then they did an ultrasound. They did a few ultrasounds, and they said I needed a DNC. So they just sent me in for surgery. They did the DNC. Everything went normal. I tell you, when I woke up, I was like, that is the best sleep I've ever had. I'm like, drugs work. Like, dang, I was so out. Granted, I had like pulled an all-nighter and then they drugged me and like sedated me for the surgery. So I think my whole body needed like that rest. But yeah, it was like a little bit of a recovery, and then I turned around really quickly, but also like, I don't know. Of course, like there's the physical recovery and then there's also like the emotional recovery. And I feel like the physical recovery was really fast, and the emotional recovery almost is still happening just because I feel like I haven't gotten pregnant yet. And so I'm like, oh, maybe if I were to get pregnant, then I would have been able to get over it faster. I don't know if that's actually the case, but yeah, I'm just kind of still like in a state of grieving to a degree, but also, I don't know, I think it was for the best, not for the best. No one wants to lose a baby, but also like, hey, if it's not the right timing, it's not the right timing, and it'll happen when it's best for our family. So there was also just a lot of change and adjustment happening. It's a new day. I just wanted to pick up where I left off. I just said there was a lot of change and adjustment happening, especially because we moved to a different state, to a completely different area. So there's a lot of stress and time to get acclimated for Lucy, for us, for our new jobs, for our new house, everything. So it's kind of put a damper on like the trying to conceive journey. So yeah, I'm just about to take an ovulation test. We'll see how this goes. Dang it. So this is the result. Negative, not ovulating right now. But I think I was supposed to be ovulating either yesterday or the day before. And so we were just out of town going to a family funeral. And so it was just like not the right time. Yeah, that's just kind of what's been happening. It's just the timing issue. But I know there's still hope. I know things will happen in its own time. So I know Lucy will be such a great older sibling, and things will work out when they're supposed to work out. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens.